gentlemen.
Hey y'all, it's your girl. Yes, it is Tips Tea Thursday. Oh, do y'all have y'all? Oh, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute, because I don't even have my beverage while I'm sitting here talking about do y'all have it? Y'all, what? Make sure up you have your tip. Hold on, it's right here. It's not far though. It was right. What? Do you have your tips? Oh no, hold on. Uh-oh. No, because we got to have both. Do you have your notebook for your tips? And your drink for your tips? Hold on, because my dog is being very abruptive. Anyway, I'm back, y'all, because that gave y'all time to sit up there and what? Let me know if y'all are here in the building, because guess what? We got some what stuff to discuss. That's why you got to get Tips Tea with your girl. What you sipping on? This right here is some tea. It's just regular sweet tea, y'all. It's just regular sweet tea that I made by myself. Oh my God, shout out to my childhood friend Hassani. Hey Hassa, yes, her mom Curl used to make us homemade fresh sweet tea when we were younger all the time. We used to it was the one where you go outside, and she used to, well, I was about to say she used to roast it outside, not roast it, y'all, but she used to let it marinate outside. Every time we went over there, we used to pull up. And I used to see the little jar like, oh, we getting some sweet tea. Shout out to Curl. Hey, Curl. Yes. Oh, but anyway, today, y'all, today's topic, let me see who in the building. If you guys have been here and y'all not new to this, but y'all true to this, type in hashtag sips. Hashtag sips. Because talk to me, I'll talk back. All right, hashtag sips. Now, if you are new, okay, if you are new to thank you. Welcome, Tips Tea Thursday. If you are new, type hashtag tips, right? Because you are in for a treat today. Today, oh my goodness, we are getting into a topic that is not talked. No. It's talked about enough, but it just saddens me on how much it is talked about, but not thought about. Y'all heard me? Because it's talked about, but it's not thought about. And that is men's vulnerability. Oh, that was not going to be the topic for tonight. But because your girl had been getting so many DMs, comments, and videos sending them about this topic, I just had to touch on it. I had to. And so hold on, because y'all know I always have to have a guest come in here. Like I said, talk to me, I'll talk back. But I got to get other perspectives in here about what men's vulnerability. Look, if I could have every man in the world come on the show tonight and talk about this topic, this would be great. You know what? Hold on. Let me get my notebook. Hold on. I see a sips. Hey, Big D, I got a sips in the building. OG, not true to this. I mean, not new to this, true to this, y'all. Look, it's not even something in my cup, but what's in yours, though? Type in what's in yours. Appreciate you guys. Again, if you are an OG, hashtag sip. If you're new to this, hashtag tips. But what I got my notebook for, and you can get yours too. Check out my website, is I'm going to write that down. I am going to create a safe space for all men to come in and touch on this topic, because again, it's been weeks that we have been talking about this, and oh my goodness, ladies, listen to your girl real quick, ladies. And this is just for tonight. Don't think that I'm getting on you, but I'm just talking because this is a topic we got to do a little bit better. We do. We got to do a little bit better when it comes to the men's emotions. But hey, don't take it from your girl. You take it from your girl, but also take it from my guest and anybody else that is going to be in here commenting. You comment as well about this topic. Let's see what else we saw who was in here. I got some OGs, I got some newbies. Welcome, get tips tea with your girl. Oh, the lineup, y'all know we're gonna dissect some lyrics. All right, we're gonna talk about things that I want y'all to stop saying. But before we get into all of that, right after this, y'all know your girl do a Tubi Thursday where she gonna have to watch one of the most ratchetest, scandalous Tubi movie, and then your girl's gonna do a review. All right, so if you are up, if you're gonna stay up with your girl, tap in later, right after this show. We're gonna watch this Tubi movie because y'all know it goes. Anyway, we're gonna save that for later. Also, if you are in the Los Angeles area, August 30th, next Friday. I was going to say this Friday. Whoo, not this Friday, y'all. Next Friday is my Battle of Perspective in-person mixer. Yes, Battle of Perspectives. All right. That is when men, women, I don't care, married, single, couple, everybody come together and we just hash out relationship struggles, self-discovery, self-reflection. We hear different situations and excuse me, I'll turn anything into a game. We'll have like a little intimate network. Look, it's a time. And I have people, they come back, and then new people, and they bring people. Listen, that's not what this show is about, though. Today is Tips Tea Thursday. All right. And like I said, if you're just rolling in, hashtag sips. If you're an OG, hashtag tips. Oh, let me sip on my OGs real quick. Mm-hmm. And then hashtag tips if you are new, because listen, you are going to get some things, and I want you to take some stuff away tonight. All right, let me see what is going on. In about a few minutes, we are going to have our guests come in. So while we are waiting on my guests, call in if you feel. If you feel like you want to talk to your girl for the next 2 to 3 minutes, call in. Listen, look, phone number on the screen here. I got the phone lines open right because hey, are there any guys in the building that want to talk to us? Any women in the building that want to touch on this topic before we get some fellas in here? Look, again, men's vulnerability. That's what we're talking about. Men's emotions tonight, because it saddens your girl. It just really saddens your girl on how here we go. Look, it saddens your girl on how your men are crying out on Facebook without crying out. Did y'all catch that? Like I said, I'm getting the DMs, the forwarding, the TikToks, the touch on this. Ooh, this is a good topic. The men are crying out without crying. And I want us ladies to do a better job at catching that, because no, listen, I'm not dismissing us ladies in our moods. I'm not doing that. You feel me? We're going to talk about that later, because I do mood mastery for us ladies. All right. And it's a good time. It's a good time. All right. But tonight it is about the men. So I'm going to get into my comments real quick, because again, talk to me. I'll talk back. If you want to call in, phone number, it's scrolling this way. I always miss scroll. Call in. But let me see. I got Chris over here. Hey, Chris. Chris is an OG. Hashtag sips for Chris. And he says to all the new people in here, you are here for a treat. Thank you, Chris. And you guys are. All right. A little snack and a little treat to go on with your sips. Yes, that's right. And hey, Nina, thank you. Nina says this is a good topic. I'm so excited about it. Chris, appreciate you for the work that you. Thank you so much. Listen, if I could clone myself, I most definitely would. But I understand that it is so many people out here that are into self discovery nowadays, self reflection. And like I said, we need to recognize each other's. I don't know, y'all follow your girl. Have y'all noticed that I have not touched on emotional intelligence yet? I haven't. I haven't. I will because it most definitely needs to be discussed. But if we all just really understand what emotional intelligence is and how it relates to one another, and look, it's so many ends in how if each of us are open to really understanding what EI is, right? And that's my favorite Nelly song anyway. EI. If we all understand what that is, then we would just all get along, y'all. We would definitely get along. All right. How y'all feeling? Y'all all right over there? Yes, good topic. So type in the chat if you are a guy or one of my men's. And again, my men, this is what I'm proud of. Backstory for your girl. Your girl been doing this since 2016. Okay, yes, 2016. And when I started in 2016, I'm trying to see if my guest is all right having a problem come in because he usually just pop in. But in 2016, let me see what we got going on. No, we look all right. In all of my events, everything that I had going on, the women outnumber the men all the time. I had about 14 women to 3 guys. Then the guys were rotating. It was just like, oh my goodness, but they were holding it down. But now, since I started back up after the pandemic, oh, the men have something to say. And my men's clientele, and I say my men's clientele because if I would have said my male clientele, it would have sounded like it was something totally different. So we're not talking about, I'm not going to say my male clientele, but my men's clients have doubled. And also at the events as well. At one of the events, the men's outnumbered the ladies. Yes, they did. And sometimes we have half and half. But when I tell you, I am proud of my guys for stepping up and having something to say. That is why I came to this topic today. All right, because men's vulnerability, all we talk about is men's being the provider. Men's, and I'm gonna keep saying men's being the provider, men's being the protector. But what does it take to do that? Some of my fellas, what does it take to do that? Huh? I know it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Well, let me look at my comments over here. We got Chris saying brothers are getting comfortable with speaking up and out. Yes, they are. Yes, and I am loving it. Now, what my ladies need to do is open up and listen and understand. Because again, yes, protectors, providers, those have to come with feelings and emotions. You can't always tie emotions to just crying or anger or busting, or you can't just only tie emotions to women, right? You cannot do that. So we have to understand that men have emotions and men are vulnerable as well. All right, y'all. So guess what? My guest has come into the building, and type in the chat your questions. Type in what everyone has to say. If you guys got anything to add to what I'm going into, any comments from my guests, I'm going to go ahead and welcome Mas from Victory. Yes, that is related forever.
That Mas from Victory is always hilarious to me.
It just flows. I don't even know.
How you doing tonight?
I am doing all right. Oh my goodness. It has been a week. It has been a week.
It has.
To that. Let's talk about you first. How are you?
I am tired.
Mhm.
Yeah, these days, they're starting to run together. Me and my
Oh,
wife were talking about it today, and I'm like, yeah,
same.
these 2:30, 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning days are starting to catch up with me. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just trying to figure out how to balance it all out.
Ooh, well, I appreciate you for taking the time to come get tips tea with your girl again
So,
on
again,
this
yeah, again.
Thursday. Are you what you sip? You sipping? What you sipping on?
I have some what watermelon vodka with some type of mix, strawberry, banana, something going on.
Okay,
But yeah,
all
it's pretty
right,
good. Pretty good. One of
good.
my favorites. I'm a vodka head during the week sometimes.
Oh yeah. No, so I'm a barely drinker. Period in life, right? I'm a barely drinker, but
Congratulations.
thank you. And it just never grew on me. Yeah, I never. My tolerance never got up. I mean, it's sad. Birthdays were always the thing. And
Gotcha.
I had to learn in my adult life. So rum puts me to sleep. I learned that in Miami. I lost a whole day, an entire day off of rum. So I learned my lesson there. Vodka gives me a headache. Tequila is the homie.
You know what? Most people get along with tequila. That's usually how it happens. I don't know why.
Hmm. So yes. Oh my goodness. Now, before you jumped in here, I let the people know what our title is today. And what it is, hold on. I like to call them emotions.
Okay.
Because
Emotion. All right.
yes, we have to normalize men's emotions. All right. Let's see. Then I got Chris over here. So I'm going to be back and forth with the comments because we got some guys in here. And Chris over here, he's an OG. And he said, I need bourbon. No, Chris, no, let me tell you, I never, dark liquor, never. It never even happened because, again, I'm not a drinker. I always thought dark liquor was for I don't even know. It wasn't even happening. But shout out to Shelly Moss. You know who Shelly is. Shelly said she tells this story on how she loves a Crown Royal Peach, and we see that that's dark liquor. And she was at a bar one day, and a guy walked up to her and said, "Oh, you must be angry." And she's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Oh, because women that drink dark liquor are angry." So she said she never drunk dark liquor again in public, in front of the men's because of that. And I was talking to my daughter the other night, and she said the same. She was like, dark liquor and angry. I was like, that's what they say. So no, Chris,
You know what?
no bourbon.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I've never heard that specifically, but I have. I do kind of tilt my head a little bit when I see a woman drinking dark. It is funny,
See?
but I've known plenty of women that have done it. But
Mm,
it is a damn. I don't. You know what? Maybe.
yeah, I ain't gonna try it. You ain't gonna try it. Look,
Oh, that's funny.
I can barely hang with the tequila. So dark liquor ain't gonna do it. Oh, so I got Nina over here. Nina said, "Get you some cognac, sis." Okay, so then she said, so Chris says that's right, and then Nina says that's not true. I am happy as all get out. See,
Is
and you
Nita is Nita drunk right now? Because if
Nina,
she on that yak, she
you
might be
drunk right
really
now?
happy.
Let me know what you sipping. Even the nickname Yak doesn't even sound like attractive. Oh my goodness. But yes, emotions. Oh, listen, this wasn't even going to be the topic of tonight when I was planning out my week. It was going to be about that topic. You saw on my post, my social media before, when I asked about the arguments and how would a man try to resolve the argument.
Right.
And it saddened your girl that the day that I post for the men, I stopped counting at 50 men commenting. Between Facebook and Instagram, 50 men, and then they were still going on 2 days after that because I'm not sure if that was Monday or Tuesday. So then the very next day, I post the same question in reverse, right? For the ladies. and no one responded
Crickets.
in 24 hours.
Well,
Okay, I take that back. In 23 hours, the first woman responded at 11:58 p.m. and then two more came after that.
I'm not going to perpetuate the stereotype of women not holding themselves accountable and trying to end arguments. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let the lack of participation in your post go ahead and say that.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
definitely saddened
it
me.
is what it is.
So that's what I was going to touch on, but I'm not. I'm not going to do that. Tonight is about emotions and men vulnerability. And first, I want to start off with a story. And my week was kind of crazy because I did some sneaky link stuff, right? I don't know if you know. I've been in a long-term relationship for the long term, right? I'm not sure
Okay.
if you know that. Most people that follow me, they know. Hold on, because this is hot tea right here. And I kind of cheated. I snuck out. I did something and then I did something I wasn't supposed to do, and it didn't even turn out right. Right. All right. So let me tell you. I've been with. I mean, some people know him, some people don't. Right. That's why it's like it's kind of it's a private relationship. You might know him, you might not know him, but he goes by the name of T.O., like Terrell Owens. I call him Terrell. And we've been in a long-term relationship for a while. But it's been a lot going on. You know, my mother-in-law birthday was a few days ago. And, you know, his son just got drafted to the 49ers, which, you know, I've been very, very supportive. But yesterday I got a call and from my sneaky link, and it was like, yo, come see me. And I was like, shh. All right. So I hop on the road, right? I drive all the way. I'm in traffic. Like I go all the way to Vegas, right? Because it was open practice for the Raiders, right? It starts at 6. It starts at 6 o'clock, and I get there in traffic. Anyway, I pull up, and it was the end of the game. Let's just say that, right? It was the end of the game, and I just didn't. That's sneaky linking going wrong. Sneaky link going wrong. But it ties into the story today because I didn't consider his feelings when he found out that I went to go see the Raiders. You know what I mean? Because of like, you know, his history and things like that. And it was only because he was absent at the time. Okay. Right. And I usually don't do things like that. Haters gonna say this story isn't true. They're gonna say the story isn't true.
That's what the haters gonna say.
It doesn't even matter. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the reason why I fell in love with T.O. was when I saw him at his most vulnerable, right? And I don't know if y'all follow my man. We've been together for a while, and he had a reality show a while ago. And he went through and he found his dad, his family, all that other good stuff. But his career was crumbling. Like I was there to support him, but it's still some things that I just can't, you know.
I'm glad he had your support.
Thank you. And it was this one episode. Give me a minute. It was this one episode where he had just broke down and he started crying. Whew. And so that's when I fell deeper and deeper in love with him. So emotions, y'all. Let's normalize men's emotions. So let's talk about it before we get into the social media shenanigans, because I do want to pull up the Tyrese clip that has been circulating, and we're gonna get into that. But first, do you have? Let's get into your thoughts before we get into that clip that brought this on.
I'm an advocate for everyone being vulnerable. I know that you need a safe space to be vulnerable. I get that and I understand that. But I think a lack of vulnerability is probably, in my humble and uneducated opinion, probably the worst thing that's going on with everyone. Like it's not just men, it's women, it's children, it's parents, like just inability to let your guard down, to be guarded all the time. So I initially, well, we haven't gotten to the clip yet, but I was so happy when I just saw him throw the towels away or the napkins away, and I was like, look, man, tears are so it's a natural thing. Like one of the first things you do in life is cry. Like, and if you've experienced life like most of us have, you're gonna do some crying, and it's okay.
Right.
It really is. It has to be.
Has to.
Yeah.
Before we get into the clip, I got to be honest. Before I got with Terrell, I was with Tyrese. Okay. And we were together for a while as well. And I was young.
I see a thing. I see a thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
I understand. I benefited from that thing for a good majority of my life. So I get it.
But haters are gonna say that my time. Have you seen my daughter? Is she?
I think so. Yes.
Hold on. She in the back. She was in. Oh, there she is. You see how light she is?
Yes.
Haters are gonna say that my type is light skin. I had him one, and he left the proof. I can't even. Anyway, that's it. Anyway, so I was with Tyrese before. Love, like he wrote "Sweet Lady" about me. I don't know if y'all
is
ever
that
read
right?
Yes. He wrote "Sweet Lady" about me.
That's an amazing song.
And I was young, so I say that to say the reason why. Now, this was back then, y'all. I was kind of turned off when he started crying a lot, right? And so then it was the whole Jada, like, what do you want from? No, that was Tyrese, right? Like, I was like, oh my God. And that was a turn off. But prior to, see, I was young again, because when it is a lot, that's another question. So when I saw this clip, at first I was like, it got to a point where if I was dating, like, you know how, well, I don't know if guys do it too, but girls, we name guys by whatever we feel like naming them. It's never their real name. And one time when one guy got a little emotional and sensitive, me and him we started calling him Tyrese. She'd be like, so what's up with you and Tyrese?
Wow.
This is it. I was young.
That's usually when it starts. That's and that's the unfortunate part. Is
I've changed. I've elevated. I've evolved. I know I am no longer in that space. I am no longer in that space, and that is why I am here to share these stories with you guys and guide you through. So when I saw this clip, I was like, what Tyrese crying about me?
Here we go again.
But I clicked on it and I was like, all right, Tyrese. Oh, let me share that. So a day or two later, a guy, he sent it to me and he was like, I never thought about this. I was like, I know this is good. He was like, leave it up to Tyrese, sensitive ass, to shed some light. I was like, hey, whoever it comes with. So hold on. Let me go ahead and try to find this clip. Let me get into it. It's always the technical difficulties with your girl. But yes.
While you're doing that, I'm going to judge myself for already being halfway done with this.
No judgy here.
I'm judging myself.
No. Oh, okay. Go ahead. All right. So, boom. There it is. All right. Look, right to it. Let me volume. Always get an issue with the volume. Turn that up. All right. Here we go.
I think about, Brother Paul Walker, and I think about John Singleton. Your mother.
Divorce. Both of my sisters died.
Your sisters. People don't look at divorce as grief, but you did. You lose things, You probably lost a lot of friends when you went through your mental health breakdown. Are you really, have you really taken the time to deal with all of that grief? Or do you just try to stay busy to avoid it?
You see it in space already.
Man.
I'm doing the best I can with every 24 hours I get.
To tremble.
That's it.
Some tissue.
No, I don't need no tissue. Black men cry.
That part.
You know, fucking tissue. Every 24 hours I get, I'm doing the best I can. Beautiful pain.
You deal with a lot of grief.
Oh, hold on. There's more.
1992.
There we go.
There is no square footage I could ever live in. There is no rims, no jewelry, and no car. There is no net worth. There is no press release. There is no co-star. There is no collaboration in the world that could ever replace my mama. That could ever fill the void of what it's like to wake up and get married and want to be in something for the rest of your life. And it goes away.
You're making me cry.
Get Tyrese some tissue. Yeah,
I don't need no tissue.
Man, you US, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love you.
You've been holding this
Do
in
you
the whole
understand
interview,
how much power it is in letting it go?
Yeah, because you've been holding it the whole interview. I've been watching you.
You asked me the question.
I did, but I mean, I'm giving
you should have never asked the question.
I love
if you didn't want to see.
I love you.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there. Hold on. It's a lot. Oh, I gotta get back. Let me stop sharing my screen. All right. So it was deep.
Very
Deep on so many different levels. So for me, the divorce part was interesting because I tell this story all the time. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Y'all, I still hear you over here. Well, I got my comments over here. Tyrese cry a lot. But he spoke some real stuff. Us men matter too. Yes. Then I get all the prayer hands because they saw the emotion. Now,
it was a lot.
It was a lot, and grew up in a 2-11 parent home, but my parents are divorced now. And during that time, I used to always wonder how my dad was handling it because if you know my dad, everybody loved my dad, big Ken dog, very cool, calm, collected, don't raise his voice, just all of that good stuff. And he never showed any, I didn't know. Like, I was wondering, like, do my dad cry at night? You know, because it was not his choice to divorce. So I would always wonder if, you know, how my dad was handling it and all that other kind of stuff, but didn't really know. No, I'm not going to say I didn't know how to ask. I never thought to ask there because I was dealing, you know, processing my own stuff, and my brother was processing his own stuff as well. So that was one thing. But I will say the only time, and this is all tied to Tyrese as well, only time I heard any emotion in my dad's voice is when he called to tell me that my grandmother had passed away, which is his mom. And that was like his entire world. So like Tyrese was saying, and after that, I just didn't know how to ever bring up grandma. If grandma, you know, like her anniversary, her birthday, because that was it. So yeah, that was the reason why I was very intrigued by what Tyrese was saying, because we don't think that men go through emotions when it comes to other things outside of death, right? That's the only time, or something like that. The divorce, even again, anything, just anything.
Anything.
Go ahead while you go over here. I don't want to neglect my comments, but comment on what I had just said, because you know I could go on. Let me sip.
I think the unfortunate part, and I've never understood it. I was blessed a long time ago to experience life fully. Mm-hmm. Every emotion, it hit me early, so I've never not been around it, or not been engulfed in it. But the one thing I struggle to understand is why we look at each other as, and this is men and women, why we just don't look at each other as human beings. Like even with you, and no shade, but the fact that you call it emotions, like it's just an emotion. Like we all have fear, we all have love, we all have trauma, we all have pain, and the thought that he couldn't have it, or like you wouldn't even know how to broach the conversation, really stems from a place, in my opinion, that if you've never seen it and you don't actually believe that it's true, like you have to see it to believe it with men. And I think that may be something that we're taught really early. Like, yo, handle it a little different. You can't handle it this way because the reality is the truth. Um, if we show too much emotion, we're gonna get judged on it. It is what it is. So it's one of those layers, unfortunately, that we have to maneuver as men.
So
But
what is? I'm sorry. Hold on. The guys over here, Chris saying, live in the moment and be grateful. Tomorrow isn't promised. He said he can relate to that. I am not the most emotional person, but when my grandparents passed, especially the grandmothers, it broke me. And then Nina says, grieving is difficult and you have to learn how to keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Chris says gender has been weaponized against us all.
It
So,
really has.
right. So that's what
100%.
I was going to say is I feel, yes, weaponized against us all, but us women too. And it's not about us women. I'm not going to touch on us tonight, but it feels like it's the same when where you were definitely at the event, I believe, where we were talking about the emotions and being overly emotional with women, and we were trying to define what that meant. So would it be safe to say the same thing is that when women are overly emotion, it is weaponized against us as being brats, crybabies, here she go again?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, because it's. I was having a conversation with my cousin, and I won't be long-winded because I too am long-winded, almost like a Baptist preacher. But I remember the conversation I had with my cousin, and I was like, we're taught, men, specific to men, we're taught at a very early age a list of things that we can't do. And with women at a very early age, you all are taught, yeah, express it, push it, da 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 da. So it's not surprising to me that as we become adults, that some of us may go further in this direction, and other ones go further in that direction in regards to emotions, because for the most part, a lot of men were taught to suppress theirs, and a lot of women were taught to, I don't want to use the word over glamorize it, but we're taught to over express it in a sense. Like it's okay to be emotional, and it is. The reality of it is that it is. But there's a balance that we all have to have, because you can't live your life based on emotions.
Right.
And when you do that, unfortunately, what the young kids say, you crash out. Like it's not a good thing.
No, not at all. So I had a serious question that I thought about earlier, and it was, who is they, right? And I have a big thing about that. But when you say we were taught, by who? Like, who are these men being taught by? And I know that's a general question, but if you can give me experiences yourself, because that is what it said. Like, and I'm gonna say for myself, I can't think like who taught me how to be emotional, who taught me to cry or anything like that. Like, and I don't know if I could sit up here and say that I've ever, well, I don't know. I don't know my brother and my dad did, but I don't know if I've ever seen my brother fall and my dad was like, I don't know, because maybe I wasn't around. But who is they? Who have you been taught by? Who are men generally taught by to not, don't,
I don't even know. I don't know that it's taught. I think it's learned. Like, I think a lot of what we do is just social cues. Like, you can't, a man has never been allowed to be soft. Like, if you're soft, specifically in our culture, that can lead into a whole lot of different things if you're viewed as being soft. So, yeah, it can start as early as, like you said, if you fall, you could be
anywhere
6
like
months old. You just learning how to walk, and you fall and you start crying, and they pick you up, and I go, da 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 da, and then I fall at the same time. Excuse me. at the same age and the same time, and they like get up, like you get, and
they tell you to help the girl.
yeah, like it's taught that. I think it really is learned, and I think it's subconscious. Like I don't even think it's on purpose. I think it's just I know this world is going to be different for you, so I have to treat you differently. And it's not it's not a gender thing because we all understand that women go through this world in a different way, and men go through it in a different way. So society has taught us. We've evolved to know that she can cry a little bit more. It's probably not a good idea for you to cry as much as her. So let's figure out a way to stop that.
Okay. So how do we stop that?
I don't know that you can. And I don't know that you should, to be totally honest with you.
Okay.
We have to balance each other out. Like we can't, if you get two emotional people in a relationship, in any type of relationship, it's weird. it's really weird. Like I think we have to embrace the differences between us. And that doesn't mean that a woman can't be logical. And that doesn't mean that a man can't be emotional. But you have to balance it. And again, I said this last time, I'm a Libra. I'm always talking about balancing and doing all these different things. But I truly think that once you figure out how to balance your emotion and your logic and not lean too much into either one, you're better off.
Okay. So let's talk about hold on, because we still have more. I want to get through this before hold on, y'all. Type in the chat if you guys have any questions or any experience, any comments. Let us know you in here because we still have, and hold on, let's get to this.
How hard it's been to get through.
I love you, Black.
Okay, do you not cry?
Absolutely.
You might not bring it to the radio. 1992.
Oh, it was a hug.
This is what being grown is. I'm not doing this.
Hold
on, my makeup gonna mess up.
Hear me. Black men cry. When divorces happen, women aren't the only one that are devastated. When a miscarriage happens, women are not the only one that you should be checking on. When you can't put food on the table because your career goes up and then it goes down, stop skipping over the man and just checking on the woman. This is what being grown is.
Is there one more? Oh, that was it. All right. So, woo! Go ahead.
Yeah. I rarely ever say that I don't think that Tyrese has ever said anything or done anything where I agreed wholeheartedly. And you saw me because I reposted it too. When I saw it and I watched the entire clip, and I'm in the process of watching the entire interview. But I was like, it was powerful. It was really powerful. I hate to say it, it almost sounded scripted but I think that's the honesty in it. Like it really is. It really did come off as that's exactly how he felt. And it's so true and it's so strong. I love him for it.
Me too. Nina says culturally some things are learned in silence and other ways people prefer to suffer in silence.
Yeah.
We need to learn to be okay with not being okay. How can women better support? Oh, she got a question. Thank you, Nina. Nina got a question. She says, how can women better support men in expressing their emotions? Now, before you answer that, that's good because prior to you getting on, I said that men are just known as providers and protectors. Those are the only, or the majority of the titles that we put on men. But what does it take to do all of those things, to provide and to protect? There has to be some feelings involved, some emotions involved, up and down, because like he said, when the career is going up and when the career is going down, they check to see if the wife and kids are hungry or if they're full or things like that. So Nina's question is, how can women better support men in expressing their emotions? Thank you, Nina.
Hell, thank you, Nina. Who knows, to be honest with you? Number one, you got to create a safe space. So your man has to feel comfortable being vulnerable with you. That's number one, which usually means
right.
That,
my follow-up question.
yeah.
Love that. I love the phrase, but I feel like it's creeping to be one of those oversaturated ones.
What was it?
Nina's
Which one was it?
Creating a safe space. Like, I mean, because it's true, but I mean, I'm glad that more people are, utilizing that word, but I don't think that people understands what that means because everybody thinks that they're doing it right. But, and not Nina, because she's saying it's a struggle for her. She's admitting. So my question is what does that mean? Because that's self-explanatory, creating a safe space.
Right.
And I know that it looks different for everybody, right? It looks different for every guy, but help generalize.
I don't think it does.
Okay, well, come on now.
I think creating a safe space happens when you, as a woman, you all tend to speak a tad bit more harshly to your man. When he's, because you all know when we're down. Like what we have to stop doing, we got to stop lying. Like when we're down. Like we know when you all are down.
Definitely a topic on that one. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when your man is down, when he isn't super inflated, feeling himself, how do you speak to him? How do you breathe life into him? So if you take those opportunities and if your man listens, he hears everything. He'll hear the little giggle. He'll hear the way your tone changes when you say certain things. The way your vibe changes when he ain't necessarily got it like he normally has it. So to answer your question, you got to be a really good person. Because if you naturally push back, if you naturally always have something to say, I don't want to say naturally, if you've just been taught that this is the way to interact with people, so you're real slick with it. You've never created. It's not a safe space because he always has to be on guard. So he has to be able to just be like, whatever it is, anything, and a lot of that's on him too. Like it's not just you. It's not just you as a woman. It's him as a man. Us as men, we have to learn how to not interact with people that don't allow us to be vulnerable. And we have to be okay with wanting to be vulnerable.
Right, which is what Nina said. So
it ain't always on y'all.
Right. I have a question for you, Nina. Because I get a little deeper with me. What have guys said to you? What have been their feedback? Oh, look, I'm talking over here because I'm reading the comments over here. I know, Nina, you looking at me over here.
She can see you.
I'm this thing going on. Nina, what has been the feedback? Okay, what have guys said? Why do you feel that it's a struggle? Chris says we need our women to just be women. Sisters are naturally nurturing. Be that. Men need our women and community to cooperate with us. Yes, but it's
I think the cat is out of the bag on that too.
What you mean?
We multiple generations into women changing. It's not. I don't want to say. I'm not going to say fortunately or unfortunately because I think change is inevitable for us all. But if your woman has known nothing but me, number one, I think most women are selfish by nature. I think it's always been about them. So it's no way around that. So
Right.
they only that thing within a woman that I think is innate only changes when they have a child, and even then, like it's really the hierarchy changes a little bit in my opinion. I've always felt that's the case. So a woman nurturing her man is in 2024 is probably very difficult for him because more than likely they've never even experienced it. So
Right. So
how would they
I
know?
will get into that because again, one of my favorite topics is how it starts in the house. It starts in
Yeah,
the home. Now society does swoop in when you start school, you go out, that's that. But it starts in the home. But I don't just mean by being taught, right? By what you see.
what you
And
see,
like you said before, a lot of women have not seen this. And I agree with you. I mentor youth as well as I have my adult client. I deal with all ages.
Mhm.
And the defensive that is happening,
It's crazy
it's unbelievable. My
at such
signature
an early age too.
so early, my signature
Mhm.
topic is mastering conflict resolution because I teach that in corporate, youth, everywhere else it goes. And the kids are always, so there's 5 styles, and the kids are always looking for fighting to be one of them. And
Yeah,
I'm so confused. And they're really staring at me when I'm done with my lesson, like, so, Miss Kenya, that fighting one, right? Like, it will
right,
never. But the defensiveness, even just being in stores, if a parent will say, hey, don't do that, immediately a little girl, like, I didn't even do it. I'm like,
yeah,
whoa. Ugh.
yeah,
And it starts when you're young, like you said, because you don't see it. That is all they see. I'm triggered by yelling. I'm triggered. I'm not gonna say I've never directly experienced it. Again, my dad's not a yeller, my mom's not a yeller. It just haven't, and it
right,
triggers me even with other people, not just in relationships. It triggers me seeing other people yell at their children. It bothers me. But Nina said, because I asked her, she said, I find some men take a while to process things, not being open, and some are in survival mode. I say that all the time because there's a difference in survival mode and being raised off love. So they just can't achieve sharing the emotions because they have a lot going on. Let's talk about that, Mas, because that's common amongst a lot of women that I speak to. It's more about they don't even, it's not that they don't even take the time to open up. It's just when they do, it's so survival mode-ish. Go ahead.
and my wife and I have struggled with this, so I'll speak from experience on this. I even I don't know if you can tell when you and I speak. If you ask me a question, I usually will take a couple seconds to process it, run through a
Mhm.
couple things in my brain, and
Mhm.
then speak. Creating a safe space is asking your man something or having a conversation with him
Mhm.
and then being quiet
Mhm.
and letting him process it.
Mhm.
Because we we for the most part are more logical
Mhm.
um in the way that we think and the way that we process things and the way that we speak.
Mhm.
We're not going to just like if you ask us a legitimate question, it may
Mhm.
take us a couple seconds. So
Mhm.
another way to create a safe space to go back to that is to when you're having a conversation with your man, let him think, let him process, and don't step on it.
Okay.
Don't step on his process, whatever it is. If it takes him, I don't want to say 2-3 minutes, but whatever it is, like the
Right.
reality of it is, if you ask him something that requires him to sit and think,
Mhm.
let him sit and think.
Mhm.
And then what you probably could do is think about to yourself, why don't I sit and think?
Mm.
Why is your first response, I don't know?
Why don't I sit and think?
Sit and
Mm.
think more. Like just relax. We got plenty of time. We ain't going nowhere.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
if you because I think the more we wait, the more we relax and just sit back and just let life happen and not rush so quickly to move it forward.
Yes, a
Um,
lot. I've heard somebody call, and I've heard this a few times. They call this generation the microwave generation, where they just
yeah,
want everything real quick,
100%.
everything real quick. Nina says, "I have also experienced men do not have good relationships with their families, and they isolate and prefer it that way." That's why I say, take me to the barbecue now. Take me to the barbecue. I want to know. I don't wait until you think we serious. Don't wait until you feel like you no. If I met you on Tuesday and your family reunion Saturday, I want to go.
I want to go to the reunion.
I want to go to the reunion because that's going to let me know if we
Yeah.
are going to listen. All right. Short story. My experience, y'all know your girl. I talk about my daughter's father all the time. I have a series on YouTube called I Did Not Choose Him, and that is okay. Go back, follow it. But I should have known. I should have known.
It's a true thing. Like the way and we do again. This is take the time, slow down, and actually try to piece together who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
If he does not have a good relationship with his family,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Now,
if the person doesn't have a good relationship with their family, and it's everybody in their family, you might just want to break out. Like you can try to figure it out and try to see why, but
mm-hmm.
most people struggle. If and again, most people, if you're not good with your family, nobody in your family, everybody's bad, everybody dislikes you, you
Yeah.
did something wrong all the time. Yeah, it's
Now
something.
let me clarify because this is my daughter's family as well. It was not that his family was bad. I loved
Right.
his family. His family were great people. It was like we're saying, it was his relationship with his family.
Yes.
That was weird to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His family was great. Clarification there. But again, it just goes back to the relationship. And also, too, I've dealt with a guy where he had a great relationship with his family, but his family was a hot, toxic, musty mess. So that didn't even mean nothing. Okay? I don't even get
Toxic and musty. Wow. All the above, the trifecta.
So that
Yeah.
didn't mean anything either. Okay, all right. Oh my goodness. Let me see. What's got going on? I love the comments over here. Christopher said, when the space is safe, most men will open up. Bars.
100%.
Yes. And then Nina says she agrees with you. Hey Nina, thank you. Appreciate that. Chris is saying, show him you care. That means everything. Being supportive shows a man a lot about a person. Yes, Nina, family
Yeah,
relationships. Okay.
it really
Mm-hmm.
does. I don't think
It,
there's anything more important to a relationship between a man and a woman than
mm-hmm.
the fact that she actually cares. Because caring shows up in a lot of different ways. And when you
Mm-hmm.
truly care for someone, yeah, it looks and it feels different. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that priority list is pretty high. So when you care about somebody, that bumps
Yeah.
them up pretty high on
Mm-hmm.
that list, and everybody's actions will reflect that. So yeah, that's a real one. That is true.
Ooh, all right. So, all right. Let's flip it real quick. Let's talk about when men feel like the women throw it up in their face. Right? Because we get a lot of that. That is I have so much. Oh my, so we could do this all night. I get a lot of that women, we don't open up to men. I mean, we don't open up to women because they throw it in our face. They gut punch us when they're angry and all of that. And then they just stop. They just stop. They feel like, oh, never opening up to another woman. I have a bucket of questions about that in particular. I don't want to run them together, but it's more about since we hear that so frequent, is it a one woman thing that ruins it all for all women? Because a lot of men in my DMs, when I post the question, I say, when is the last time, I don't remember what it was, when you cried or when you did something or like that. And did it end on Instagram? It sure did. And after that, I heard a lot of guys were like, oh, I was 12, I was 9. Like, it was nothing in their adulthood. Like, even when was the last time I cried? It was at a young age. So for most men, is it one and done?
Crying?
Well, no. Well, when you're, yes. Well, no, not the crying. So let's go not to the crying. When a woman hurts you, let's go there. When you're hurt by a woman, is it one and done? When a woman uses your vulnerability against you, is it one and done?
It's never one and done.
Okay.
That is. It probably doesn't even start with a relationship outside of his mother or his family or something like that. Like it. Again, y'all sharp with the tongue, and I think because we go back to this thing that I think Nina said it too. We pick up social cues. We learn all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
You're taught to be more harsh with your boys. So long before he's probably interacted with another woman that's done it, his mother probably has done it. Like if he did, like it starts all the stuff that we deal with as adults. It starts so early. Like, so it's not to say that a woman he was dealing with when he was 23 did it to him, and she may have too. But the reality of it is that by the time he's gotten to 23, he can probably count on both hands how many times something that he has opened up or been vulnerable with someone, or it may not even been vulnerable. Someone just may have known something about him and used it in a manner that was not to uplift.
Right.
And once you see that enough times, own something, and again, it usually happens with our women, use it in a manner that was not to uplift. It's just tough. See that enough times, own something, and again, it usually happens with our women, use it in a manner that was not to uplift. Right. See that enough times, own something, and again, it usually happens with our women, use it in a manner that was not to uplift. Got the replay going. And again, it usually happens with our women. Use it in a manner that was not to uplift.
I have an echo here. Do you hear an echo on your end?
And again, it usually happens with our women. Use it in a manner that was not to uplift.
I have an echo here. Do you hear an echo on your end? I'm gonna end that there. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. It was giving me an echo when I was trying to get that.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
I'm not even gonna worry about it because I still got Facebook over here. Nina said, "Conditioned as boys and hard to break the cycle."
It really is, because again, you know, once you're an adult and you are who you are, the amount of effort that has to go into unlearning and relearning something different is a lot, and most people don't really have the capacity.
Right. Oh my God, that's one of my favorite words. Capacity. I'm so serious. I love the word capacity, and I use it. I use it about 3 times a day because I get so busy and it's for other things. I'm like, I just don't have the capacity for that. And so it's so funny now that people that are closest to me, they'll be like, "You have the capacity right now." Like, okay, I do or I don't. But it's a real thing, you know. Chris, we have to plan better. We have to plan better for our generation or the next generation. No, we have to plan better for our next generation. Yes, do you have any children?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I have a 21-year-old daughter, and I have been grateful that she has in her adult life, or the majority of her life, have been around some good kids. You know, I've only had a problem a few times when she was younger, she's had some problems here and there, but the majority are good kids. But when I see, again, the other ones around there, I'm just like, your parents are trash. They're like, your parents are trash. And it sucks so bad because the parents are they're into their me time. They had their, and not all, I'm not bashing parents. I'm not doing that at all, because I'm not saying it was easy at all. But I'm telling from my experience with mentoring children and speaking to some of the parents, they still want their me time and pushing that on their children as a child problem, right? Like, you're in my space.
Yes.
Like, get away from me, as opposed to articulating what we're talking about here. Like, I don't have the capacity, or mommy needs a little time right now, or just blocking out that time so you can have that. Instead, parents are just making it seem like they need their existence to non-exist at certain times.
Yeah.
It's pretty tough out there, but that's why your girl mentors, and she loved the kids. And if I could save them all, I am here for the world.
That part.
It
needs to be done.
Yes, we still got something else to go on. Are y'all still with me? Yeah, you use that word daily too, Nina. Yes, I cannot go without doing one of my favorite segments, because y'all know your girl likes music, and I'm always trying to dissect some lyrics. All right, and I want to get into this OG song, because my parents, they young, but they still old school. But I want to get into this one since we are on the topic here. I don't know if you got to know. Hold on. Can y'all see my screen here? I want to get into this Eddie Levert and the OJs. We cried together. Y'all know this song? Tell me another song.
Oh, you know what? I probably listen to it at least once a week.
All right, y'all want me to sing it? Said we. I'm not gonna get into it. But I do want to dissect the words, because we cry together. You know, my man Eddie, he said, you know.
How you do it?
Woman. We've been going through a lot of changes for about months or so. Yeah, this is what he said. You know, he's expressing, my guy is vulnerable here. You know, and he's in the world, he in the stew.
Very vulnerable.
You know what I'm saying? He letting you know. He's like, you know, relationship ain't nothing
without communication.
How we laying in bed?
Oh man.
Looking at the ceiling, eyes wide open.
Looking up at the ceiling. Look.
Being vulnerable. You feel me?
You know I love you.
What? We can't go on this way. They don't say that these days. They give up immediately. They go on that way. They go on that way. He said, baby, we can't go on this. She said, you're right.
Look, I know we can't.
What?
Let's straighten it out.
Oh, that's another.
I was just gonna say, now that's one of my other favorites.
Sit yourself down, boy, and talk to. We can do karaoke all night. But then what they do, they start holding each other.
Mm-hmm.
My boy felt the
tear.
Said we correct. We don't do this no more. We don't do this no more. What's so wrong with that? And guess what, ladies? Hold on, I'm stop sharing my screen, because she probably created a safe space for my boy.
Oh yeah,
in that 100%.
Bed.
3 o'clock.
100%. I can tell you this: if your man has never cried in front of you, you have not created a safe space for him.
You hear that, Nina?
I can tell you that with the if he's been through anything, if he hasn't cried in front of you, yeah, you haven't.
And that, Woo, that brings me to it. I told a guy specifically that like I said about T.O., I mean, when you cry, I feel a little closer to you. I like that more than when you bottle it all up in. Because like you said, here's the other thing, Mas, and you're married. I am not. I was engaged and unengaged. That's in part. Go watch my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But I I feel like when it comes to emotions and emotions, it's really more of a thing where you have to know how to be open and understanding.
Yeah.
Right? Understanding is an underused word that everybody should really start overusing. Right? Nina said, take your time, sis. Yes, because sometimes I be going in, right? I be going in. And yes, that song right there, that did it.
It's a good one. It is an amazing song.
And that wasn't even the one that I was gonna go with. I was gonna go with Teach Me by Music, but then when I was thinking about it, I said, I said, we cry together.
Oh man.
All right, let me see. Sober up, real talk, reflections. No. One more thing before we get into it. Things y'all need to stop saying. And my skill on this one, because this is another one of my favorite segments here. My fan, I'm a little hot.
Look, I had my wife. She came in. I said, baby, turn that fan off.
Yes, I said, turn the fan off. Man up. Man up.
Where's Shaq at when you need a man up?
Man up. Those are the things that, like, we need to stop saying, right? Because like you said, now that it's turning full circle here, it's coming full circle. It's learned behavior. You heard it from Shaq. I'm pretty sure the boys heard it from the coaches in the schools and everything else, and it probably wasn't directly from a relative or anything like that. So man up. I mean, I believe that is something that we need to stop saying. How you feel about it?
We can't. No. Again, we are not afforded the same opportunities that you all are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
y'all hear this, lady?
You got to man up. If we both hungry,
Mm-hmm.
who will feed us?
Okay, all right.
Like how we go eat?
I wasn't thinking about it in this sense, y'all. I wasn't thinking about it in that.
It's not an option. Like it isn't. If we're in danger, we both can't be crying. We both can't cower. So, and you don't want a man that is gonna be as emotional and scared as you. So there's only two options.
Okay.
You either stand down or you man up.
Right.
Isn't it? Now, so getting rid of man up, as good as it sounds, because I know you're saying it with good intentions. I get that. You're saying it with good intentions, but the reality of it is that if the situation came where your man did not man up, after that situation, would he still be your man?
That's good. That's good. See?
Hey, y'all, look. You gotta at least try.
Yes.
You gotta try.
Good. Because see, I wasn't even thinking of it from that angle. Like society and generalizing it. I was just thinking of, like you said, when you fall, you like man up. When you hurt, you say man up. Nina said, fill in the percent of his energy. If he only have 20%, give 100. That's real talk. Come on now, Nina.
That's
Nina.
it. Yeah.
We need to explore why you struggling, Nina. I always look that way. Nina.
that's actually a really good point, because if you're okay, if you want your man to not man up, like if you want to get rid of manning up, that means you got a woman up. And I'm okay with that. Like I got a couple of friends that I talk to about these things, and I say, every woman isn't meant to be a follower, specifically of a man. And every man ain't meant to be a leader. Like we've got to get away from this old bullshit that we think about when we say, "Oh, I'm the man, so I got to lead." Like, are you capable of leading? like, how did you learn these skills? What happens when shit hits the fan for you?
Right. I just changed the word that we need to stop saying.
What's the new one?
It's lead. And I'm gonna tell you why I have a problem with the word lead, right? All right, I'm not gonna say things we not. You know what? Hold on, let me change. Look, I'm changing the whole thing.
Get rid of it.
We need to hold on. No, I got another one. I'm gonna put here things we need to define better.
Yes.
That's where I see. Look, Maj, this the show. Things we need to define better because lead, it always falls on the man. When in certain situations, in certain circumstances, women lead better in that sometimes finances, sometimes household things, paperwork, organization, whatever it is. But when it comes to the word lead, it's always about the man leading the relationship.
Yes.
We need to better define the word lead because by saying that the man should lead puts the women at a part where it makes them feel like they are unable to lead or they are not to lead. So if a man leads, then what does the woman do?
Well, this is gonna start with, in my humble opinion again. Any good leader understands that they're not equipped to do everything the best. So, when you're leading, that means sometimes you have to let somebody else take the lead, the forefront.
Right.
Hey, I tell my wife all the time, and she hates it because, when she don't want to do something, she just don't want to do it. But I'll tell her, like, you do this better than me. Like, why would I sit here and do this and say it takes me an hour when you can do it in 10 minutes and get it over with? And she's like, well, no, you need to do it. I'm like, no, this is what this is about.
Even saying facts, know your flaws and accept it.
Yeah, that's it. I met my wife. Not when I met my wife. I think I told you this before. When we got married and we were talking, I said we fill each other's holes. Like I know where I fall short, and now that I've been around her, I know where she falls short. And it's in certain places, I do that. I stand up. It's nothing. I got it. Go ahead, sit down. It's cool. But there's gonna be times when I'm like, hey, baby, you gotta handle this because you're just better at it than me. And that's a good leader. Because if I left it up to her, she wouldn't. I'd be doing everything. So yeah. So no, I think like you said, defining it better. Leading is knowing when to step up, and also knowing when to step back, and knowing when you need to man up, and knowing that in every situation, manning up may not be the best thing. Right. Sometimes you need to sit your ass down. And that's just the reality of it. You need to recalibrate, you need to figure out how this world is moving and make better decisions. So I think that's the best, again, in my opinion, that it's the best way to lead.
Yes. Oh, my. It's almost time for To Be Thursdays. Okay. And I knew this was going to run into it. That's why it's always a part 2, 3, and 4. But per usual, I appreciate you. I hope to see you August 30th at the Battle of Perspectives Keepsake Mixer. You have been a fan favorite, which is why you are back by popular demand always. And you are always welcome.
I appreciate it. Yes, I will be in attendance, definitely.
Thank you. All right. Well, I will see you. I'm going to close out so I can get ready for Did you get on Tubi yet?
No, I haven't subscribed yet. I'm still trying to process it. I don't know if my ghetto side is gonna allow me to do it because I'm trying to get rid of that, but I might just have to tap in.
That you have to tap in. Let me know so I can tell you which one to watch. All right.
I got you.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good night.
You too. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, we could have done this all night. And I appreciate y'all for being here, getting tips tea with your girl. Oh my gosh. We talked about men's vulnerability, and we could have done that all night, all day. We can keep this series going on and on. It doesn't have to stop. Hey, fellas, if you want to get in like my boy Moss did, tell your side. Nina, I appreciate you. Chris, always shout everybody that joined tonight. Shout out, comment in the comment section your questions, your answers, your stories, all of that good stuff. I'm about to get ready to go to be Thursday, but y'all know I always leave y'all with my keepsake tip, right? And what is it? Until you meet someone named they, don't worry about what they say. They gonna always have something to say, and they'll be all right. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next Thursday. Sew her up. Follow me.